Today we will be multiplying numbers with decimals in them. It is the meat of our unit here in topic 6. I already got a problem on the board, but before we get to the problem, I just want to go over one thing. When we added or subtracted with decimals, we drilled and drilled and drilled that we need to line up our decimals. It's very important in addition and subtraction of decimals. Multiplication, we don't need to do it. So that's the hardest concept for us to understand, is that we have to do it sometimes and we don't have to do it other times. The way I help teach the kids to remember that is plus sign, minus sign, division sign. If you look at them, they're all made of just straight lines. Even the division sign has your decimals in it already lined up. These three types of operations, you need to keep those decimals in perfectly straight lines. Our multiplication sign, slanted lines. So it's okay if our decimals are a little slanted. They don't have to be in line. In fact, very rarely will they be in line, and if they happen to be, it's just coincidence. So we don't want to worry about that. So if you look here how I lined up my problem, I just wrote it with everything lined up on this right side. There is, like, my ones place isn't in line with my ones place, and that's okay. In fact, my decimal's here and my decimal's over here. So when I go to multiply these, I'm going to multiply it almost as if these decimals aren't even there. I'm going to imagine they're gone. Imagine that they're not here. And just multiply it as if it was 368 times 17 and not 36 and 8 tenths times 1700ths. So here we go. 7 times 8 is 56. Put down my 6, carry my 5. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 5 is 47. Carry my 4. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. Just like I would if decimals weren't there, I need to put this magic 0 in here. It needs to go there because now I'm moving over a place value. We multiply everything by 1. We get rid of the numbers we carried. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. And now we add them up. Notice I didn't have to bring my decimals down into my partial products anywhere. It's unnecessary. We don't need to really worry about that decimal until the very end. So we add up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Plus 6 more is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 3 more is 6. So now I have close to my final answer. The only thing I need to do at this point is put my decimal back in. And the way I do that is I go back up here and I look at my initial problem. I look at my factors, and I want to count up any number I have that's in my decimal places. I look at my decimal and I want to count up any numbers behind it. So when I look at my decimal here, I have one number behind it. When I look at my decimal here, I have 2 numbers behind it. So I have 1, 2, 3 numbers behind my decimal. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to loop 1, 2, 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and then my decimal is going to go right in that spot. So my answer is 6 and 256 thousandths. So it's exactly like our regular multiplication we've already done with double digit or triple digit numbers. The only really thing you got to do is at the end count up these numbers after your decimals and then move your decimal over the correct amount of spaces. Let's try one more. Let's do 3 and 8 tenths times 19. 9 times 8. Again, we're going to do this just like regular multiplication as if this were 38 times 19. 9 times 8 is 72. Carry my 7. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 7 is 34. Bring down that magic 0 because we're moving over in place value. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. Now that we have both our partial products, we can add them up. 2, 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry 1. 1 plus 3 is going to give us 7. And again, our answer is not 722. And we should be able to look up here and estimate a little bit and say, well, I know 3 times 20 is 60. So my answer should be somewhere around 60 for it to be reasonable. And that thought kind of already tells me my decimal's probably going to go right here. Because if it was anywhere else, my answer wouldn't be reasonable. Let's count up the way we already taught and see where our decimal goes. I have 1 number after my decimal here. I don't have any here. So I just want to move my decimal that 1 space. And our estimation even got us the correct reasonable answer. Our answer is 72 and 2 tenths. That is our lesson for today. And the password is gobble gobble. Happy Thanksgiving.